Hello and welcome to a brand new podcast that we're launching for Lancashire Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust. My name's Will and I work in the recruitment team here, and I'm joined by my colleague.
I'm Lauren.
Hi Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, I'm not bad. I'm very excited about this podcast.
Me too.
What are we discussing? What's the focus of the podcast?
So this is a recruitment podcast covering all things recruitment, from tips and tricks on how to apply with us and also looking at some of our current vacancies.
Excellent. All of that sounds really, really good and very exciting. So just before we start, Lauren, are you okay, just for a bit of context, to introduce yourself and tell us how you ended up here?
Yeah, so I'm currently the Nurse Recruitment and Engagement Officer with Lancashire Teaching. My journey in the NHS started when I was just 18. Fresh out of college, I joined the 111 service as a call handler, and I stayed there for a couple of years and then moved over to Lancs in South Cumbria, formerly Lancashire Care. Worked in their recruitment team and thought I want some development, so jumped ship, came over to Lancashire Teaching, and so far it's been the best decision we've made.
Excellent. So it's safe to say you do know a little bit about NHS recruitment then?
Yes, I've worked in a couple of roles in NHS recruitment, and obviously my role at the moment just focuses on nurse recruitment, HCA recruitment and student nurses.
Excellent. Great stuff. So that very neatly brings us on to our healthcare assistant campaigns, Lauren.
They do. So we have rolling adverts that are currently out for full-time and part-time healthcare assistants that cover both Preston Hospital and Chorley.
Do you need any previous experience to apply for those roles?
So for our rolling recruitment, all we ask for is Maths and English GCSEs, and a level 2 in health and social care is desirable but not essential, because you'll do your care certificate when you join us.
Oh, so that training's provided by the trust?
Yeah, so your first 3 weeks with us is spent in doing some training with our education team, and you'll get your care certificate as part of that 3 weeks, and then you'll go on the wards after that.
Cool, and that's paid training as well?
That is paid training.
Fantastic, that's really good. Okay, and what about bank opportunities?
So we do have bank opportunities available, and eligibility for those bank opportunities is based on clinical hours.
I see. So if I already work for the trust, I'm a staff nurse or healthcare assistant, How would I join the bank?
So you need to speak to your manager, and they'll complete a form for you.
Yeah. And
you'll join our bank.
Excellent. Then so that process is taken care of, and I get the banking at the app, and I can book shifts.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really good to know, and also I think brings in looking at vacancies, whether you work for the trust or don't work for the trust. So where do we promote our vacancies? If you wanted to apply for a job here, how would you go about finding it? Where can you see them?
So you've got NHS Jobs, which is sort of a national database with all NHS jobs on it. But if you're looking specific for a job at Lancashire Teaching, then our trust website is the place to go, because that has all of our current vacancies that we're recruiting to.
Yeah.
And then we also showcase some of our, I don't know what you call them.
Job vacancies?
No. No, like, because you don't put all of our job vacancies on socials, do we?
No, we don't. That's a good point, actually. We don't put all of our job vacancies on social media. We kind of use some highlights and pick some roles, and if they're either hard to recruit to, or depending on how many numbers they want being recruited to those vacancies, or if it's a big project, if it's a traditionally hard to recruit to role, or just a bit interesting sometimes. You know, if we get a job in cybersecurity, you don't see one of those every day. Yeah. So they go on our social media, details of which you can see at the end of this podcast on the title card. But it's happening pretty neat, this, Lauren. I think this kind of wraps up nicely. Obviously, I've mentioned projects there, and we've got a big projects coming up
We have.
that we're working on recruiting right now. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
So at the moment, we've just launched our recruitment campaign for a new community healthcare hub that is going to be opening in Preston. So at the moment, we're recruiting healthcare assistants and
We've got ward clerks in there.
ward clerks, staff nurses.
Yeah, there's a couple of band 6s.
Yeah, 5, 6, and 7.
The unit manager
Unit
as well.
manager, yeah. So recruiting to them starting from 31st of October.
Yeah, that's the start date for the job,
Yeah.
isn't it? So we are actively recruiting now,
Yeah,
and the start date, the unit is opening at the end of October.
at the end of October. Yeah.
Excellent. That's really exciting. Big project to be involved in.
Big project, lots of work going into it, but it will be worth it.
Thanks, Laura. So details of all those vacancies can be found on our website, and we'll link them to this post as well. If you have any questions, please get in touch. You can email the recruitment team by emailing recruit@lthtr.nhs.uk. That's recruit@lthtr.nhs.uk. Alternatively, very helpfully, as a recruitment team, all our social media handles are the same. So if you go to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and type in that's the @ LancsHospJobs, that's @LancsHospJobs, you'll be able to find us and contact us there as well.
I feel like that concludes our episode quite nicely.
I think it does, Lauren. Yes, I think right. I think we have to thank the lovely people for listening to this first episode.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully see you again for episode 2, where we'll be discussing
Some application tips and tricks.
Excellent. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.